Mr. Tinubu will be sworn in and the petitions are running. And there's that feeling, but if the man is sworn in, then what are we doing in the courts? That's the problem. And that's why I say, let's get these petitions resolved. I don't agree with Mr. Lai Mohammed that what Mr. Obi is saying is treason. I don't agree. But if we go below what the problem is, it's to do with the fact that Mr. Tinubu is likely to be sworn in on 29th of May 2023, whilst the petitions are not even heard. So why don't we try, even if we fail? Suppose my theory of 7 days doesn't work, but let us try now.
Exactly.
Let's try to see if we can get it going. And if we get it going, that is a plus for everybody. Why must we be in this continuous political, quagmire of everywhere is in confusion? I really would urge the tribunal and legal team on both sides to do their possible best to push this case to the possible limit where we can see if there can be a conclusion before the swearing in. But clearly, I have said that I do not believe, and the Constitution does not recognize anything like an interim government. It's a total contraption. So as it stands now, Mr. Ahmed Bola Tinubu is the president-elect, whether we like it or not. And he's going to be sworn in on May 29th, whether we like it or not. Many guys are going to be unhappy because they will say we have petitions. So in order to balance out justice, could we please get these petitions, if they can be resolved before that date, so that everybody is happy? If Peter B loses, then he goes home and knows he's lost. But why hang the thing? I can understand Peter B's concern and Dati Mohammed's outburst if Mr. Tinubu is being sworn in at Eagle Square and the petition is hanging in the Court of Appeal. That doesn't sound too right to me. So where we strike the balance is to give our best possible shot to finish the petitions. Let us at least try. There's no point in all sitting down and saying, can it be done? Let's try to see if it can be done. It's not be a party. Because if INEC becomes a party, it's forced to defend the petition. The last election in 2019, INEC was even more active than Mr. Buhari in defending the petition. The only role for INEC is to just to say to the tribunal, these are the results. These are the documents we used, and the court will assess it. So I'm of a strong opinion that INEC ought not to be a party at all. So now INEC is a party, and therefore it is hiding documents, because it has an interest to say that the elections were conducted properly. So I hope that the lesson from all this really is that the 10th Assembly will inaugurate all the legislative recommendations we made under OAS in 2007. It's time to demystify election petitions. Election petitions are not difficult. I've handled a lot more difficult and complex financial cases in the City of London. So what is the issue about determining whether Section 35 states that if you are a vice presidential candidate on a party's platform, you couldn't be a senatorial candidate at the same time? Is there any difficulty in that? It's simple English. That would take me 2 minutes to decide. So I still reiterate, 7 days is enough time to go through the Court of Appeal at first instance and the Supreme Court. The only place where there might be a difficulty is if the questions I set out fail. And there's a strong possibility that they might fail. So we'll now go to part B of the case management issue, which is Peter Obi and other petitioners will now have to prove the irregularities set out in the petition. That would be a long time. And I guess that's why there's the 180-day timeline. But before we get to the 180-day timeline and part B of the petition, what about part A? And I think the overall concept is Nigeria needs to cool down. The whole place is overheated, mainly because of petitions. So the judicial philosophy behind this thing should be that the courts must be proactive. Proactive. And let me repeat again. Since the petitions have been filed, not a statement has come from the courts. And that's unfortunate. Courts ought to set practice directions to say, we can see what's going on in Nigeria. As a result, we set these questions down. We hereby issue procedural order number 1 and set out these questions and invite counsel on both sides to address us. And once we hear the addresses, the judgment will be delivered the following day, one way or the other. Why can't they do that?
Guys, you hear him said it. This is so sad, guys. Our judiciary, they're not doing anything. So if you guys are saying, okay, yes, we're going to get our mandate, how can you get the mandate if they're not doing anything? You see, that is why you see when we talk of maybe we want Nigeria, we want to get it right, we want a better Nigeria. I mean, It's not something of one day and it's not something of one person. That is why I hear people saying, oh, P2B, a lot of things, they will come with their own, propaganda. You'll be hearing so many things. All these things are all distraction. But then, what is really making me to be angry is the judiciary. Okay, yes, petition has been given to you guys. You guys are not even talking about it. The worst of it, they said, even APCB people that are not even talking about it. They are just there preparing for their swearing in of 29. Nobody is telling them not to swear Tinubu in. And nobody is against whosoever that is going to be a president. That is just my take. But what we are saying, let us get it right. Let us get it right. How are we going to get it right? It's for our system to be working. You hear him said it. He said, even if at all maybe, let's say, okay, at the end of the day, P2B lose, but we should start something. We should start something. That we cannot just relax and be waiting, okay, yes, at the end of the day, nothing. Okay, how can we get it right? If petition has been given to you, you guys are not really looking onto you. We don't even care to talk about it. Everyone is just like, I always said it, I always repeating it and saying, if Nigeria is good today, it's for our good. It's for our good. For me, I used to say, I'm always saying it, I don't care whosoever that will win. But at least, let it be free and fair election. Let it be like, okay, yes, masses, they came out, they voted, and their vote counted. That's just it. Because we can't continue repeating one process. At the end of the day, we will not get it right. Come to think of it, guys, looking at the way things are really going, guys, well, let me not just be discouraged, and shouldn't be discouraged actually, because at the end of the day, the heart of the king is controlled by God, and God is the one that has final say. My prayer is that one day God will bring one person, that person that will change things around. That's my prayer. The most annoying thing about the whole show is the masses who don't want to open their eyes. Each time I remember what happened during the time of the last election that took place, each time I remember it, I try to put one or two things. I ask myself, does it mean that these people who are just talking about this, their tribalism of a thing, is it that they don't know what has been going on in Nigeria? Okay, look at people who are supposed to stand and say, no, we want to get it right. You see them, that the people fighting their brothers, fighting their sisters, fighting themselves, allowing this, what I will call them, I don't want to call names, allowing APC or whatever to be deceiving them. They are fighting themselves. So that is why I'm not really happy. I'm not really happy the way things are going. Because we are not talking of, this is my take, guys. For me, we are not talking, this is not the time of saying, we want Igbo to win, we want Hausa, or want Yoruba. We want to get it right. The right person that will make Nigeria better, that will fix it, that will make us smile, that will make us happy. That's the real person that we are looking for. And okay, yes, people voted for P2B because they want to give him try. You hear people saying, P2B, even if you didn't do it well or you didn't get it right, we'll still vote you out. But if maybe at the end of the day, okay, let's say Tinubu is president elected, if let's say, he will take because of what has been going on and why all these things, people are not happy, many died on the process, wounded, okay, because of that, he said, I'm going to change Nigeria. Let's watch and see. That is just my take. And for the people who are saying, this election is free and fair, this and this is okay, it's the best election so far. Why there are videos and everything that is going on, that even if you are like, okay, saying you pretend as if, yes, everything is all is well or whatever. But we know that all is not well. Guys, let it not be like I'm the one doing the talking alone. Watch the video.
It failed woefully in the same environment, in a system where they are truly citizens, strictly so called. in a system governed by law, Professor Yakubu, he should be in jail. By now.
Of course, he should be in
Because
jail.
of the multiple infractions of the guidelines that he himself publicly eulogized, sold to everybody from Nigeria to the international community. Straight down the line, we had multiple failures. These are already in the public space.
Yes.
And I speak as Dele Farotimi, a retired lawyer, in case you have forgotten. Now, in that failure, you had INEC servers, or whatever they called it, being switched off.
Yes.
You had beavers unable to transmit results, not because it is incapable of doing so, but because human beings decided to intervene. Because if they allowed the system to work, the room for impunity will disappear. So everything the man promised was, he promised a Rolls Royce, but he didn't even deliver a jalopy. He delivered an omolanke, unfit for purpose. That is what the man has done at great cost.
Unfit for purpose.
The money that he has just wasted, squandered, organizing the nonsense that he has now called an election, which is the point of departure with the 25th. I am careful, not because I am particularly respectful of any one of the many lying institutions, but because some people have elected to go to court. I am hoping that that court system will be the perfect place to unrobe the Nigerian state. I remember when we were talking after the NSAS, and I was explaining why we were going to the tribunal. I said it, and we were on record as saying that we didn't expect to get justice out of the system.
Yes.
But that since they had opened a tribunal, that we will go to that tribunal and use the tribunal to establish the fact that there was indeed a massacre.
Of course.
And we eventually used that tribunal, and kudos to the chairwoman of the tribunal. We used that tribunal, the same tribunal set up by the state, comprising of members only nominated by the state. We used that same tribunal to prove that the governor was lying. We used that tribunal to prove that the Nigerian police and the Nigerian army are institutional killers and liars.
Jesus.
We used the same tribunal to unrobe the state to the point where you began to have inspectors discovering camcorders and things. So we are confident that the OB team at the tribunal would equally use the tribunal to unrobe INEC and different members of the debauched lot who sit in that place and pretend to be serving the country while they are ruining it and lining their own pockets.
Of course.
So insofar as it relates to the 25th of February, yes, the people did their part, and INEC failed them as it has always done.
Country be doing in the face of what had transpired.
Yeah, I see. It would have been fairer for the government if all that happened in Lagos, people were arrested, MC Olomo, for example, or FFK, those people that use very incendiary remarks, nobody talked to them. I'm not saying that incitement in any form is correct, but I have not seen incitement. If, for example, I actually published an article today on interim government, that you have an opinion. It's not a crime. You cannot criminalize it. What's the whole idea of competition of ideas in the political marketplace? After all, you can see that even the idea of interim government, after Babalola SAN, before the election, canvassed for it. So what makes it a crime is what I don't understand.
Okay, so quoting Lai Mohammed, while speaking abroad there, he said a Democrat should not believe in democracy only when he wins the election. So the question is the process democratic? At least in the eyes of Peter Obi and his supporters, it is not, that process was not democratic.
I just don't really know the one he was linking to Peter Obi, the statement, because he did not clarify. Was it the audio or was it that they are linking him to interim government? I'm not defending him, but also, why do you need to go to New York when there were international observers around here and you could issue statements? The impression you got is this ought to have been an issue between political parties, and the government ought to have stayed away from it and become more like an arbiter in the process. For example, if you feel that some spokespeople were crossing the line, you kind of urge the candidates to call them to order, not to be seen as taking sides. And I'm not really sure that this is the incoming government, whoever the person is, will meet a lot of challenges.
Did you say whoever the person is will have a president?
The current president-elect, Ahmed Tinubu, and I gave him exactly the same message. I said, whatever you people are planning, I'm convinced that we need a young generation, new thinking, new sensibilities, new energies. So why don't you just leave this thing? Let's look at somebody, a really brilliant individual, and then you use your influence to catapult that person to power. And this country will see a massive transformation. We spoke for about an hour and a half. In the end, Tinubu said no. He said there were still things which he felt he could contribute. I have not, Bola Tinubu and myself have not met. That's over getting to 5 years ago. We've not met once since. Simultaneously, we called willing and enthusiastic and brilliant young people together, and we said, look, come together, give us a candidate. We'll back that candidate with all our resources. We need somebody else at the helm of affairs. And so, for me, the emergence of the Peter Obi movement.
You heard what Prof said. Because they believe that this is the fight that has to do between them with P2B. They don't know that we are fighting. We want a better Nigeria. We want to get it right. You see, guys, that's why, you see, when I hear people saying, oh, this or that, I used to I was flabbergasted. But guys, without wasting your time, I want you to watch this video. I'm proud of this guy and some of the masses that came and they were saying their opinion about the election and whatever. Everything is in record, guys. Let us not forget that at the end of the day, God is the one that have final say over every situation. Okay, guys, watch the video.
You're calling a deep your honor. My name is Barrister Kindusi. Okay, sir, what is that your name? Mr. Yakubu. Right. I'm not sure you can go far with this, your attitude. Your mistake can't be corrected, even with correcting flu. How did the number change from 2 to 102? Can you? How much did you collect for plastic box? Over 300 billion, and you didn't share much. Or your first step city reach Abuja with their results. Wow. INEC officials did teleport. Mouth with a cap looking like a yacht. You play with a mind and expect us not to react. Why you announce winner when everybody did crash? Now, guess who works late night? Fraudsters. I hope with these few points of mine, I've been able to prove that you're a criminal. You know, press laptop, but you press beavers, and your crime is manipulating numbers. So,
you chose to be less. A good name is better than riches. A wise book say, but this leaders no get sense. Tribalism, religion, and poverty. These are the tools they used to keep us divided. Take away the greed, bring in some honesty. Don't be a Messiah, Kubu waiting to manifest.
Expression. It's an expression of rage. It's an expression of frustration. It's an expression of anger. It's fury. This is the way that we're feeling. And there's absolutely nothing I'm saying on this record, or Vector is saying on this record, that hasn't occurred. It's not, we're not fabricating facts. We're not making things up. We're not painting a scenario that did not occur. I'm telling you things as they happened. We went out there, we voted, and suddenly everything was scattered before our very eyes. And absolutely nothing was done about that. And even upon all the numerous cases of violence that we witnessed, upon all the very shoddy and shabby looking manipulated results that we saw with our very eyes, the INEC chairman still went on to declare a winner. And as for the presidential election, as the presidential election is concerned, in the dead of the night, so I mean, it was all just a big mess.
I've come to the end of this video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Give the video thumbs up, thumbs up. Don't forget to press the bell notification so that each time I post a video, you'll be notified. And if you are new in my channel, you are highly welcome. Wow, deeply in my heart, I appreciate my old subscriber, my new subscriber, my returning subscriber. You guys are so amazing. Keep supporting your girl. Give the video thumbs up, thumbs up. Remember, in every circumstance, be strong in the Lord and never you give up. One, there is life, there is hope. Guys, let's keep pushing. Don't be discouraged. One love, guys. Mwah. Subscribe, like, comment, and give the video thumbs up, thumbs up. One love. Peace and one Nigeria. Bye-bye. I love you all.